Hello and welcome back to Kaameel DotA channel. Talking about DotA, we've got a CS girl here with me. My guest today is Julia Bish Robson.
Not at all a Dota player. I have no idea what Dota is about. No, I'm lying. I understand Dota. I know there's like an early game, a mid game, and a late game. I know that picking is really important, and then I know that there's like gold and towers and stuff involved, and then fairies shooting each other.
Dota's a confusing game, I don't blame you.
Thank you. I try to explain it to someone, like to the extent that I know, and I try to explain it to someone else, and I was just like, I'm doing a horrible job, so I'm just gonna stop right here. Can we get a Dota guy to just help us explain?
Come on, Fury.
Oh, there you go.
Guest
Awesome.
interviewee.
Guest interview, huh?
Second time back on the show, man. You're
So
a
how about you explain to me what Dota is about? Like, if you can have like a 10-15 second go ahead, how would you explain Dota?
Dota is a 5v5 MOBA game.
No, you can't see. No, you
Yeah,
stop.
MOBA, really.
Stop it.
MOBA doesn't mean anything.
Exactly.
No, it doesn't mean anything. Like, okay, I have no idea what Dota is. Tell me what Dota is.
Alright.
Okay, Dota is a 5v5 game where your team tries to destroy the enemy base and they try to destroy your base. In the process, there's complex strategy and teamfights. I'm really uncertain how to explain Dota. I didn't even understand
even a Dota player can't even do
You
it.
can't explain Dota, it's just...
It's very hard.
And for Dota play, it's even worse because for you think about all the other complex stuff. It's like somebody who has to have a little understanding of Dota is the best person to explain
Exactly,
it.
and you try and explain it to someone because it's like such a cool game. I'm sure because I know it is cool.
Yeah.
Like I can watch it, I can appreciate it, I can understand it, but I can't put it into words.
Alright, well lucky you're not here to talk about Dota.
There you
Bish.
go.
You're supposed to get to talk about Bish. So,
Awesome.
alright, who are you? I mean, listen, I'm not got a Dota channel, so people maybe don't know who the random CS girl is.
Yes.
Give us some insight, man.
So basically, I started playing CS quite a while ago. I actually did play competitively for quite a bit, but I must say a large part of my career was quite social. So for example, I went to Rage almost 3 times. And I just played, I had like a 1v1 tournament happening with the EveTech MSI stand, was amazing. And I sort of just stepped up as a personality, and that took quite the positive turn considering I then decided to go into Twitch streaming, and it took quite a while for me to really gain traction. But I started doing it, you know, more consistently now, and I actually have quite a good consistent base, and I love the people that come to my stream. They're all recurrent viewers, they're all people that I meet at events, so I see them, I'm like, hey bro, what's up, you know. It's like you really start learning to know your fans and like who they are and your viewers, and it's fun. I jam with all of them. So yeah, I played CS competitively, and now I took a bit more of the personality side of it.
Alright, that's cool. So I'm talking about Twitch streaming. I've been on your stream before. I checked it out. I did some of my research for this thing. You have like 1.8k followers, right?
Yeah.
So
it started out quite a little bit ago. I went to DreamHack with SteelSeries, and it was a really cool event. I streamed on a different Twitch channel actually that I created just for DreamHack, and it was so insane because it was the first time I tried to use OBS, and my mic, because I was using a SteelSeries V2, was so scratchy, and there's like this massive festival happening like in the same room as me. It was like, hey guys, we're running, we're going B, and like no one could hear me, my mic's distorting, like the lights and stuff of the stage is like blurry. It was insane. It's like sitting in the middle of Ultrafest with your PC. It's insane. It was insane. So DreamHack was amazing, and then I just decided, you know what, this was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed streaming, and I took it a bit further. So with that, I partnered up with some people. I created a new Twitch account, and they actually really helped me get my name out there in the international scene. So before the whole, you know, betting scandals and stuff like that in the CSGO scene, you guys know that CSGO Lounge and stuff like that did very well. So I was quite active in that, you know, community, and I got my name out there quite a bit. I started playing with Oscar from Hellraisers and Pith from NIP. And I jammed with them, I jammed some H1 with them, and I don't know, I think their followers just sort of came to me, and I built quite a good base. And then with that, I was like, you know what, I'm going to focus a little bit on the South African market, and then I started streaming to Twitch and Facebook at the same time. So that's where I'm right now.
that's very, very cool.
Yeah.
So you know, you spoke a lot about CS and stuff, but like what was the first kind of games you started playing? You know, I mean, I had a computer since I was like 18 months old playing random games,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
So funny enough, I played video games when I was very, very young, but my favorite game was Crash Bandicoot. Like, I know that was like my ultimate go back to, where it all started, Crash Bandicoot. But when it comes to PC, I played 1.6 and I played CS Source, but that was before I even knew there was online. Like, I didn't know there was TeamSpeak. I didn't know you can join an online server. I didn't know anything. So I was landing with my little brother in the basement of our house, and we were just like, yeah, this is gaming, we know nothing. And then we started playing some COD 4 because that also came out, and we had Pro Mod and everything. Loved COD 4. I got really into it, and then I started going to LAN, and I was like, oh my gosh, all these people are also playing COD 4. This is insane. And then I joined a deathmatch server. I was like, whoa, even more people. And like, I was like, okay, OC is like the hub of COD 4, like that's how much I didn't know. And then next moment they were like, yeah, we see you online. I'm like, what's online? Then it went to online, and then online took me to DGL, and DGL took me to DGC. So I took that whole route with COD 4, and only after COD 4 died in 2013 was its last breath. That was when I decided to put my focus to CSGO.
Alright.
So it was, I overlapped COD 4 a little bit with CSGO, and then I was like that COD player for the CS people. So that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
Alright. So now I see, like even in your Twitch description, right, you have this thing where it's like, I think your last statement in there, or part of your bio is like, you play and do all these things so much so you can prove that gaming is not about gender, it's about actually just doing it. So I can't remember what the statement was, I'm so sorry.
I don't know how I got to, I think I did an interview with MWeb Game Zone or someone, and they asked me specifically, it's like a very prominent question that happens when you're a female gamer. They would ask you, how is it like to be a girl gamer in South Africa? And often I was like, well, just because I'm a girl doesn't mean I'm getting treated differently. I'm like, it's just, how is it like to be a gamer in South Africa? Stop asking the girl part of it. And I used to get quite defensive about it, but I think what it comes down to, and what I meant with that was, gaming or your skill is not determined by gender. It's determined by your passion. And that's what I think is the big thing. Is like, I could be, any gender in the world, but if my passion is like much stronger than the next, I would be putting way more time into the game, way more practice into the game, way more hard work, and that would make me better. That would improve my skills. So when that little statement I made up, I was like, skill is not determined by gender, but rather by your passion. And I live with that, because I was like, don't ask me about your girl gaming questions, because it doesn't matter. I'm a girl, I play video games, but everybody else plays video games. Just because I'm female doesn't make me special.
Right.
That
makes sense. And the thing in my opinion, in esports, that like gender should mean absolutely nothing. Like in real sports, you can say, yeah, males have like a physical advantage or this or that. But in esports, you don't have all those barriers. It's on the PC. So it's like, yeah. So like we have that energy female team, which is really cool and all. But like my sister's like, why does there have to be a female team? Why can't they just play in a normal team? And I just have to agree with her.
And often that is a very big argument. But I understand, and this is the other thing that people don't understand about female leagues, is that it's not made so that the girls could play at a lower level. That is not what it's made for. It's because females in video games are statistically less than males in video games. And what it comes down to is that just females in general aren't exposed to video games or hardcore games or esports to the extent that your male peers would be. So therefore, I think in society, girls would see gaming as a male thing, male-dominated industry, and that is what having a female league combats, is to sort of open the doors for girls and to be, guys, this is a girls-only league. Don't stress, you won't get wrecked. Come and join us, and we all get better at the same time. And that's what the female leagues are there for. It's not to be like girls are worse than guys, girls aren't good enough with guys to play, that's why they have their own league. It's not like that. It's because statistically females play less games than males, and to sort of combat that and make girls feel more welcome, or like get this thing off the ground for females to do as well and equalize it, is to get more girls to play. They feel more comfortable playing with other girls, that's why there's female leagues.
Right, that makes a lot of sense. That explanation kind of, and then it sounds like a really good idea when you explain it like that.
Exactly.
Because it is like a very male-oriented thing. So just having that like open space to start playing in a more competitive environment makes a lot of sense actually.
And I think the other thing that people forget is that being a girl in a female or in a male-dominated industry, regardless of gaming or anything else, is that people would often either just sort of have the stigma that you are lesser than them in skill until you outplay them and they're like very impressed. So for example, this is a good example, right? We both no-name people. We've both been playing CS in our basements for the last how many years?
Right.
We both join a server, right? Your name is whatever, my name is whatever, and we're both like, say they know how we look like, we're streaming or something, right? I wreck. People are like, oh my gosh, girls are wrecking, she's amazing, girl gamer, you know? You play, you wreck, you're like, oh, cool.
Right. No, this is what I want to ask you about.
So it's just because it's less prominent that girls play, and that's why it's such a surprise, and that's why. So it's not to do with gender or skill base or skill and gender, nothing. No, it's just to get girls to play more.
All right. I want to ask you something. Like, what is it like to be a girl in like playing like these massive online games, this and that? Because like I'm in DotA, right? Every now and again, it's actually getting more and more often. The more I play these games, I see like a lot of girls and stuff in the games, and then like in DotA, like if you search a casual SA pop game and there's a girl in the game, I mean, the way guys act in the games is ridiculous. Like the girl will speak once, and then those guys from being rage bosses, this, that, they completely change, and they're like, it's like the biggest kiss off ever, and it's so hilarious to me. But like, what is it like for you guys to actually have to deal with this stuff? It's like a daily basis thing.
I think a lot of the times people forget that girls who play these games are actually massive trolls themselves. I know I am for one. I think if anybody who watches my streams know this. You know, because I obviously speak live to them on stream, and then I have to push the talk to speak in game. So it would often be like, yeah, guys, let's like troll this guy a little bit. I'll be like, oh my god, hi, and then you know, like people would start, and then I'll be like, lol, look at these idiots. so I think a lot of the times it's not how does it feel, because it doesn't feel anything. It doesn't change anything. I must say it is quite funny, and I think most girls find it funny too. And this is the thing for me when it comes to being a girl in gaming. It makes me feel very proud, because I feel proud that people are impressed, because I feel that when I perform, I do well. It sort of ups the skill level of, you know, the general idea of what girls can do, and that is what makes me proud. So no, it doesn't feel anything. It doesn't make me do anything. And even if the guys are being kissed up, so I think that's just part of it. It just shows you how little people are used to having girls playing games.
All right.
Even in 2017, like guys, come on, get with the meta here.
Yeah.
All right, new age. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a new age. So like, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where people just need to get used to girls playing.
All right. In a competitive, so that's in like a social environment, just like casual CS:GO pickup games or whatever. But like I know in DotA and in the DotA competitive league, in the Prem League, there's this girl. Her name is ALX or something. Her name is Jennifer actually, and she's like probably one of the better carries in the Prem League. So it's like a girl who's there actually playing like DotA at a pretty high level in an esports team. Playing at Rage last year and whatever. Okay, she didn't actually. Her team kicked her before the tournament last year.
Oh wow.
But like in CS, I know there's a female team, but is there like a lot of mixed gender teams or whatever like that?
So currently in CS, there's a few female teams actually that people don't probably even know about, because they're still quite, you know, new to the whole thing, and they probably don't practice as much as they should. But let's just say that Energy and Amarillas and Vixens are probably the top 3 goal teams that you could like name off the bat. I think there's about 8 others, which people are always often so surprised about, like 8 goal teams? Like, where are they? And I'm just like, well, they're there, they just probably don't play as often as they should, but that's up to them. When it comes to female teams, I don't know.
Or rather, females in a normal team.
In a normal team. So it would probably be Shaz is obviously in a CS team. She plays for Mythic. I think I would probably be the next goal to be in a male team, because that's just something that I personally want to achieve. for myself, I have played in male leagues prior to that. So I was always in a male league. My Energy was my first female team, and now obviously I want to move on to get into another male team. So it's not about I want to join a male team because they're better. It's not at all that. It's just that the actual skill level of a set or specific team that happens to have males in them
It's just higher.
is just higher, and I feel like that is where I belong. But yeah, when it comes to mixed gender teams, I think in South Africa it's even more of a different story, because what we're trying to do is get girls to play more, which often could be a little bit daunting playing in a male team.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, to get girls to be in female teams first and then branch out could be the way to go.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, in the professional scene in DotA, one of the top Chinese teams, Team Newbie, actually had a girl player for a while. They I don't know if they kicked her or she left or whatever. They don't have her anymore. But it was like quite a uproar in the Dota 2 community. Not uproar, like a positive uproar, that like there's a girl in a top Dota team. And it was like, it was really cool to have that. In CS, has there been anything like that?
Well, again, Shaz, I think she's probably the best person to go for stuff like that, because I mean she did go international. She played for all-female team, but prior to that, the only girl team. Well, she never played for a girl team prior to that. So, I think what it shows is that playing in male teams are easier to join. I think a lot of girls just have like not a mental block, but they're just like, I would rather play with a group of girls if I could. So I don't think there's anything weird about it, nothing different. I think it's between myself and Shaz as the only two girls that I know in the CS community that really has played with, you know, a group of top tier players, and yeah, I don't see it anything more special than anything else.
Okay.
Know? I think it is though that, say for example, if the Energy team broke up. Right, the Energy team broke up, I think they would probably be joining mixed teams, because they have learned so much now that they would not drop down to a new girl team. They would rather form a team with already experienced players who are generally male.
Okay.
So it's not to do about gender, it's more that the more experienced players are generally male players, and to be in their teams would then equal a mixed gender team.
Okay, so like your mindset on this whole thing is like, it's really good. It's like really like it shouldn't be like considered like an off thing. It's just like part of life. It's like the norm for you already.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, like how do we make that, like what are things we can do as, you know, freaking male privilege to like help
Male privilege, I've never heard that one before.
Make that the norm.
Stop with the oh my gosh, it's a girl in the game thing. Stop with it.
Alright.
Stop. Because I feel like I just spoke to, perfect example. I just spoke to a 12-year-old girl that came to me to ask me, how do I get into esports? She wants to get her parents to put her in a private school. They're on board completely. Get her into a private school, get her a nice PC, get her a nice internet, and just do esports. She wants to do esports for the rest of her life. That's her thing. She wants to start young. She wants to build into the industry. She wants to improve her skills. What must she do? My first thing was that I said to her was, get good at games. And I meant that in the most straightforward way possible. It's like, choose a game and get exceptionally good at it. Because this is my theory about it, always has been. If you're a girl, if you're a player, right, and your skill set is just higher than anybody else's, then even the top team can't turn you down because your skill is better than them. So what I've learned is that if you want to get far and you know, do stuff like that, what can people do is really just get girls to play more, and play more as in really get them to come to land, focus, start practicing, get a coach, do things just like you would do with XD, or you know, what any of the other guys here at EGE would do. You really just need to sit and practice and play and improve your skill level the same way anyone else does it. And that's the way you can improve it, is get girls to play more.
Alright, that's a fair statement. He said the same thing earlier this morning. It's like,
awesome.
Yeah, you want to be good at Dota, just play Dota, you know?
Yeah.
My brother said the same
That's
thing.
the thing. I did this where I played CS and I was horrible. Like when I started, I was like proper horrible. I was like, oh my gosh, COD is so much better than this. I wanted to kick myself for saying that back then because it's completely a different game. So to me, I now sat and I grinded. I downloaded aim maps. I watched YouTube videos. I watched streams of the top players. I got top players in South Africa to play with me. I played pickups. I played MMs. MMs later became like, oh, it's too casual. You need to play more competitive. Went straight into just joining 10-mans. And I'm versing like BVD and stuff here, and I'm just like, oh my god, like you're shaking, and you're just like literally opening you. You feel like you just want to like click, quit then. And I was just like, you know what? If I want to play, I just need to keep pushing. And it really showed when we spoke about this the other day. Demi and I joked about it the other day, and I told him, remember that time at LAN X when I played mid on Cash? And yes, I'm putting it back. That one round I played mid on Cash, and you. Andreas and I don't know, I think it was Goals or someone else pushed mid, and they were doing a proper mid to A strategy with like smokes, flashes and everything, and I was single holding mid with an AWP and a 5.7 pistol, no util, and I was just like, oh my god. And the next moment they pushed down, it was like a no scope, a quick scope, and then a quick like 3-tap, a 5.7. I just sat there and like even in the demo you would see me just stand still, like my gun semi moves up and I just stand still, and that was me going like, I'm done.
That's so sick.
I'm done, because that to me showed that even me playing with these guys, I forgot about the mental block that it's Demi, it's Sonic, it's it's Kani, it's Takbook, you forget about the names, because eventually they're also players and they also make mistakes, and if you learn how to play yourself and you improve yourself, then someday you're gonna impress yourself.
For sure. Man, I love those kind of stories. Like, we all get to that stage, like him when he used to play back in the day, and he used to play against his teammate Rock Lee, who's been in the scene a long time, and be like, oh yeah, I beat Rock Lee in a pub, or oh yeah, I beat my brother's the best the one time. Like, so pretty, when it's really new to DotA, he found against Donnie, who was like, maybe still considered the best player in SA, and he's playing against him mid, and he solo killed him. My brother was so focused. I never seen him that focused before. And he was like, he was so happy then.
Yeah, well see, that's the same thing that I sort of went through. It was purely beating people that I looked up to for the longest time, and then me going like, okay, you know what, Julia, if you just continue pushing and you continue playing with these people, eventually you start adapting their skill level, because you're now forced to strafe, you're now forced to do a pop flash, because that's the only way you can get away. That you're now forced to learn the smokes and forced to learn the mollies and the sights and the holds and everything, because it's the only way you can win. So later you sort of forced into those positions, and it's forced to make it better. And that's why I feel like playing more will improve more, or you'll improve more as a goal.
100%.
Any player.
For sure. So like, I know you're quite a big personality in like SA esports and whatever. So are you thinking a lot about your own skill and this and that? Are you thinking of getting back into a team or something like that?
Oh, definitely, yeah. So basically, I moved up to Joburg only about 3.5 weeks ago.
Okay.
And I actually made quite a big life change where I decided to quit my university studies and do esports full time. Yeah, it's like it was very, very intense, and it was my mom's first time she ever came to an event to see what I'm doing, and she was fully impressed. And now she's just like, yeah, we need to get you this, we get you that. I'm like, okay, see, this is what I needed 5 years ago. But so yeah, I don't know, I made quite a big step, and I feel like I'm still sort of adjusting into it, and I'm still learning and making a lot of mistakes, and I'm learning out of them. Currently my main priority is to get my stream up and running consistently. My fiber should be installed into my apartment when I get back, which is what it was promised. So let's see if Umatal lives up to these standards, but I doubt it. And then I've basically Ubered to a studio every day with my entire rig to go stream, and then I come back home at like very late at night. So that's sort of what I'm going through right now, and then the entire day is just meetings set up to sort of do stuff for my sponsors. So if I had fiber at home, things would be a lot more easier for me, because I didn't have that travel time to go with, and I would definitely have time for a team. But currently I do not. I just want to get settled before I do something like that, because that is definitely my main goal, to get back onto the stage and do things as a competitive gamer, because it's all fair and well to be a personality, but if you can't relate in a professional or competitive level, then what are you really watching?
Right. So now, as a person, on the personality side of it, like if I'm not mistaken, not too long ago, you went on a trip to Taiwan to do some stuff for MSI.
Yes, it was very exciting. Actually, I went up to Taipei with MSI Yeah, well, Taiwan, Taipei. I went up to Taipei to Computex, and a whole bunch of South Africans actually went. So we had Frankie B there, we have Youth Disciple there, and we had TechBall there, and they were all doing their things, YouTube and so forth, and it actually made me feel a little bit like, what am I supposed to do now? Because I'm not a YouTuber or a blogger. So I just did social media, and I basically demanded like the most random people. I just walked up and they're like, I own the place. I was like, guys, I need a screen, I need a table, I need a chair, and I need the internet, so I can do my job, please. And I just streamed from Taipei, and then straight after that, I enjoyed it so much. I was waiting in the hotel lobby, and I just picked up my laptop. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go live right here. I want to play some PUBG. So I just went up onto the Wi-Fi. The upload was like insane. This is in Taiwan, so they have all the internets in the world. And I just jammed in the hotel lobby and jammed in the hotel room and just did that throughout the weekend. It was insane. Taipei was absolutely insane. The level of tech, it's like you walk down the shop and like a local 7-Eleven sells like MSI laptops. Like, whoa, guys, come on.
That's crazy, actually.
And all the taxis and everything, it's just like MSI, and then like the next moment it's like ASUS like running around, and you're just like, this is insane. The graffiti is like all the Warcraft characters. It's like, it's insane.
A whole different world, actually.
Very,
when you
very
think about
different.
it like that. So, but what does a company like MSI like send you? When they send you to a place like Taipei or whatever, did you go on your own money, or did like MSI send you that to be like ambassador for them?
So like that was sort of the debut of everything that I was doing.
Okay.
I was on a little bit of a probation period where they were just trying to see what I could do in South Africa for them, because obviously I live here.
Yeah.
So that's the main focus. But I actually approached them and I said, guys, take me to an international event and I'll show you what I can do as a brand ambassador. And I actually didn't really expect the curveballs they threw at me, but I think I handled them pretty well. So one of them were that when I got to the press conference, they made me the person to put on a t-shirt and go, we're live at MSI press conference here in Taipei, and I had to like present or host the entire intro of the thing. And I literally walked in there with like a lollipop in my mouth. I was like, yay, press conference, woo! And then like, yeah, put the shirt on and take the mic. And I was like, whoa, okay, yeah, okay, focus. And I did it. And it was like, as I just pushed through, I didn't prepare for it or anything. I just pushed through it, and then they were like, okay, you did an amazing job. I was like, okay, thank you. To me, it was horrible, but I'll work on that personally. And then they made me go live at Computex on the MSI Global page as well on Facebook. And I presented all the laptops and stuff like that. So I think they just they sort of threw the curveballs at me to see how much I can handle. But I feel like representing as a South African, going there and then working with an international crowd was really impressive. For me, at least. I was like, whoa, that was cool.
That is very, very cool. It's like funny, like, we live in South Africa in whatever way, so we just like all South Africans are known for us, but when we go other places, like being South African is like an exotic thing,
Exactly. And they love the accent. They were like, you speak such nice English. I'm like, it sounds horrible.
I mean, you don't have the run-of-the-mill South African accent, what I mean?
Well, the funny thing is that I'm 100% Afrikaans.
Oh.
So my entire family can barely speak English. I don't even
With
know.
the surname Robson?
Yeah.
Wow, I wouldn't have told that one.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah, I'm Afrikaans, so sometimes I stumble over my English words, or I reuse the same words because I actually don't have a better word. So it's just something I need to work on first.
Oh man, this is a DotA YouTuber. I would say he's probably the best content creator when it comes to YouTube for actual getting better at DotA for high level players. And his name is D2 Bowie, and he's a Portuguese guy, a Brazilian guy rather, and he speaks Portuguese. And when he started 2 or 3 years ago, he was English was so broken and it's really funny, and I used to enjoy his videos because we used to mispronounce stuff and all that. I used to laugh then. Now I watch him and he's using words like fallacy and stuff, and I'm like, what? I only speak English, and this guy speaks better English than me now. I'm like, alright. But
yeah, I think when you really start pushing yourself to that, you do improve your English a little bit. You start working on new words to explain stuff. Awesome just doesn't cut it anymore.
Yeah, there's only so many times you can say, yeah, that's pretty good, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even me with casting, I speak like a freaking simpleton usually. Just every word is every second thing is fuck this or fuck that. That's all I speak usually. Then I'm casting, I'm not going to swear or anything, and I'll be like, that was a very, very impressive play, or extraordinary plays coming in from TKC or whatever.
I was like, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I was just at home and be like, oh, this guy's so fucking good, man. That's all I say, you know what I mean?
I'm the same on stream though. I actually changed my Twitch so that it says, the content is intended for mature audiences because it's not just me swearing, but the people in pubs, they would swear, and often I get so angry that I would rage and swear back at them, and then my Twitch chat always goes like rip sponsors. I'm just like, you guys suck. Like,
so good.
So it's become quite the meme now on my Twitch chat where we just say rip sponsors every time I do something or the stream does something that's not really appropriate.
Alright, now we know you've made it. When you have your own Twitch chat memes, then you know.
Bro, I have my own emoticons, dude.
I saw.
My face is a thing now. Yeah.
Okay.
It's called Jules in Your Face, and it's just like a really big close up of my actual logo of my banner. The pictures is like a really close up, which is like my face area.
Oh my god.
And it's like Jules in your face.
You need to get a Kappa Pride version of that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I literally said my face needs to become the new Kappa, and then I'll be happy.
Oh man, that's great. Mr. Fury, you've been sitting here the whole interview just like, just shaking your head the whole interview. You have anything to add here, man?
Yeah, like, I don't know, like, chicks in a competitive scene? Sorry. PC. Girls in a competitive scene. Excuse me.
Oh, beautiful.
Well, that's a blooper.
You know, all the work me and Bish are trying to do here, keeping things, pushing the scene forward, just like, you chicks,
Look.
Okay,
nothing against it, right?
Oh my god.
But if you took, obviously look at the same.
Restart that because
Okay,
we don't even
I'm not
get
editing that out. I am not fucking editing out. You guys just mix,
I'll recover it, okay. So, excuse me, that's bad habit, right? So girls or females in a competitive scene, right? Obviously, you've got exactly the same potential. Right? If you spend the exact same amount of time, you have equal passion, you have equal support or more support from the community, you will achieve because like you're putting in the work, right? But in a sense, there are obstacles, right? Because I can imagine my dirt, right? Like a mess. It's like Rocky has a girlfriend, right? That's it. Then you got 4 desperate dudes. Okay? Now,
Are you saying you're desperate?
Yes.
Oh, wait, okay. So how far our interview?
You're the worst, okay.
How far our interview was okay, you went through a phase, right? You liked this girl, and I don't know, he was like, in his head, they were like a married couple and shit already, and in her head, it was like, oh yeah, I know this guy named Anton, right?
It wasn't like that.
It was like that. No. And then he used to go through these Steam names. So it was Fury.stood-up, Fury.fragile/broken heart. Then like he went through this whole.
You know that.
So
he's the most
emo.
Yeah, I went very emo actually. But like anyway, it's like so let's replace Damien with you, for example, right?
Okay.
Let's say you start playing DotA. Now you've got 4 desperate dudes and a girl. Okay? I don't know if you're single or not, but let's say you're single, right? And then it's like you're gonna be desperate. Like you're in a boot camp, you haven't seen a girl for like 2 days. She's sitting right over there. Like, your mind is not on DotA.
You know what would be the worst, I imagine, right? It's like, especially with the boot camp area, because you obviously would share the same, like, hotel area or something. And I would just rock out there in like my leggings, my pajamas, like messy, and I'm just like, yeah, guys, we're gonna jam some DotA now. All the guys are like, yeah, heavy breathing. You know?
Yeah,
I could just be like, oh my god, this is so awkward. But you know what? I think this is the other thing. Is about for me, example, I had always joined teams that are my close mates.
Yeah.
So I've been to 3 LANs with mixed teams, and with all 3 of those LANs, we did exceptionally. We played BVD in 2 of them, and we actually got the highest kills against BVD that entire tournament. Twice.
Yeah,
I have
that's
stats
impressive.
on this. I have proof. And then I was in a different one that was for OC, and I played with IM, and I think we came 3rd or something. And with all of that, none of those guys look at me twice.
Yeah.
It's like it's my closest mates that I've been jamming with for like the last 2 years. They know Jules is like baby sis, bro. It's like there's just no nothing. And that's, I think, what's the difference. Is for your team, it probably won't work. That's probably why you won't get a girl in the team. But I think that, say for example, you get a team and I approach you guys, and you guys will just say yes because I'm a chick. That is also not right. I'll like I jam. Or even though if I'm good, I'm definitely I'm good. I can join the team, and it just synergy doesn't work. That's just the thing. Right?
Yeah,
it's just a thing.
So I guess it's just like another element you have, because when you're in a team, like even no matter how good you are, there is like a lot of like psychological and like emotional components. Like if you rage and flame and this and that the whole time, whether you're a guy or girl in a normal team, it isn't. So in that criteria, when you get to a stage when there'll be a whole lot of like, let's say 9K level girls wanting to join the other team, you're gonna have to compile a team then of people with a higher level of emotional maturity.
But
and
like,
can
actually, that's a
get.
massive issue because in Dota you have Ramses and VP. I think he's 16 or 17 now.
Yeah, he's a good-looking fella. I'm just gonna tell you that.
Dude, like the thing is like with getting a group of guys together, like getting XD together. I just looked at a group of guys that I thought they could grow. Like, and then I added them in the team. Like, Damien stopped me in a pub. I don't know who Damien is. I know nothing about
where's
him.
the problem with you?
Like,
The problem
can I
with
get a
you.
hype?
the problem is
for that.
yes,
Can
I
I get a?
agree.
It's
I
not
agree,
with the
but,
girl.
like, you
It's
didn't
not
have
with
to-
the girl, bro.
There's no
It's
problem
with
with the
you
girl.
then.
I mean,
So
100%
that's why
agree.
you guys will always be a male team, and I will
Yeah.
go join a more mature team
Exactly.
and jam with them.
But that's an
Like,
obstacle because
okay,
you were
for
joining
example,
a less skilled team.
Great idea. Okay,
Than
so
XD.
let's talk about Dota teams. 'Cause I actually know Dota teams, okay?
Yeah.
A Dota team, like say I was a top tier Dota player, right? A Dota team that I could see myself joining would be Energy. Reason being, I have a good reasoning for this. Darren, my best mate. Like I've known him for years and years and years now. We go out all the time. We've been at multiple lands together. Like we would have like these small little house lands. Darren is always invited. He's a scrub that plays Dota. All of us else plays CS. You know, it's like that. He's like my close mate. No stress. He's, you know, honestly a good mate of mine. Habibi, I know him because I actually managed his team with Niran. I don't know what his name is. Niran's Doppler, thank you. They were all in IM, and then they went. Did they go to AP? No, it was IM still. And I managed their Dota team, so I knew them very well. And actually, they taught me how to play Dota with bots. It was a horrific scene.
Wait, how old were you when you're managing IM?
I think I was 18.
Okay, so how old are you now, if you don't mind me asking?
21.
21. Okay, 3 years ago. Okay, that's
Yeah. So I was you know sort of with them. So when I see Waz, I still like, you know, I still joke with him about his little ice cream jokes and whatever else. And when I see Niran, I still give him a massive bear hug. So it's all of those things. When I sit in with a team with them, and if I actually were talking the talk, they would completely be focused in the game, and they would play the game, and there would be no stress, you know. But I think where it comes in with stuff like you guys is when you get a girl new in the team that you don't know, for example, and you have desperate dudes that get emo and send like broken hearts and stuff. Then you have an issue because say I've been jamming with you guys for the last how many years, and you knew me like personally, like guys, it's Jules, bro, come on. You know, and you jam, and when we play, we honestly have such good team synergy because maybe then the team hype would be up a little bit more because I'm going like, guys, mid's missing. I don't know. I hear that yelled at often, so I think that's and then you know, like I say that, and then you guys are like in there, and it's a thing because it's like a power communication thing. And because I speak, everybody else wants to speak more because they're desperate. That will equal higher comms. So you need to think about other things too. I like analyzing teams.
XD has a bad name now, but it's alright.
No, you know what? I'm just gonna put this out there. You know, the rest of the XD boys, I think they're pretty mature. They'll manage. But this guy, it's that. No, I'm just kidding. I've been giving this guy a hard time the whole.
Maybe I
time.
should just replace him then.
To replace Fury, you only need to be able to play 2 heroes, Warlock and Crystal Maiden, and then you got
wow! I actually played Crystal Maiden the first time ever, and that was in the bot game that I was speaking about, and I ulted a creep. And I thought it was a kill, like I probably thought I won the game.
We all have those games. My first ever Dota game, I played and they told me to pick Wraith King because he only has one ability. He just has one stun, one single target ability. So I walk, and this is in Dota 1, which is like the most confusing game you've ever played. So I just walk straight up the lane, fast, and I see a creep stop in the middle of the creeper and stun the creeper, and then all my friends just burst out laughing. I created legends in Dota 1. There was that. Then I was playing Omni Knight the one day, and I healed a siege creep, and they were like, "What? You can heal siege creeps?" And it was like a whole meme. And then there was a Miranda. There was a Miranda, right? And then she went past my screen, and then she leaped into the jungle. Then I'm like, guys, there's a tiger in the plants, and that was just like a meme for so long.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very happy that I understand this, which means that I'm making progress, and I'm starting to understand Dota because I understood every single reference you just said.
That's right.
So
Nice.
got that going for me.
Just when you come to these
Just
events.
a watch, dude. I literally just sat there with my laptop going like, that's pretty. Like Dota's a really pretty game. It's really pretty.
They do a lot on like
That is.
work on their skins and this and
cool.
that. Yeah.
And then all you really have in CS is like this knife that you just pull out
Yes,
the whole time,
it's-
which I find very annoying.
Honestly, I don't like. Honestly, I can like when I was watching. It's the last week at Rush, it was the first time I watched the competitive CS, and it was a great, the bravado energy fun. And I was so pumped, it was so hyped. The skill was great, and I picked it up pretty easily. But like CS is a game. If you look at it, it looks like the shittiest game ever. It looks like a 2005 game.
You know, I understand where you're coming from because it's not like Battlefield with like stuff
Right.
blowing over the
Yeah.
screen.
But I think that's part of the charm,
and, like,
right?
But no, it's the reason why, and this is what a lot of people would say about CS is stripped down to the bare minimum.
Right.
You know? So it's a competitive 5v5. You have nades, you have guns, you have knives, you have that stuff. There's no kicking, no punching, no jumping. There's no sprinting. There's no extras. It's pure normal Half-Life mechanics, I'm gonna say, and just like straightforward shoot and kill. And there's a minor updates, minor stuff, and that's what keeps the game interesting. But as soon as you add those other things, then you go into a whole different realm, which is COD and Battlefield. They have their like raindrops falling on the screen, and it's just like a much higher rendered game that it's almost. It takes a lot of competitiveness out of it.
For sure.
I'll probably get bashed about saying that because a lot of people don't like having Battlefield and COD in the same category. But I sort of, because I'm a COD player and I have played Battlefield, I can say that when it comes to graphics and like the feel of the game, the actual running and the sprinting and the walking, it has the same feel to me. And that's why CS is so unique and works so well, because it started at, not even 1.6, 1.4, and then went or 1.5, and then went all the way up to where it is now, and it's so different. You can open up 1.6 source and go and try and compare them. You just be like, this is so different.
Yeah.
And that's what they do well.
Yeah, and like I really think that's part of like the CS:GO charm. It's not like trying to be like the super realistic anyway.
Exactly.
It's just like a bare minimum skill-based shooter. And
You know what was my answer to Call of Duty changing from COD 4? COD 4 was the best game ever. COD 4 Pro Mod, best. You can't COD 4 and it must be Pro Mod. If it was not that, I don't know what the hell you were playing. Okay. The only thing that was close was Black Ops 1, and Black Ops 2 was fun. But that was like the only thing. Like whatever they did after that, they just massively screwed up. Because now you get exoskeleton suits, and they just tried too hard, dude. They just tried way too hard, and they added new things all the time. They completely took away from what COD was, which to me was the most perfect shooter game. COD 4 was the most perfect shooter game. It was perfectly run. There were so many things that could happen. It's the same thing with CS. But just in the COD form, it was naked, it was bare, it had whatever you needed. It had dedicated servers, it had everything that sort of, I would say, CS has. And then whatever they did after that, they just screwed up.
oh man.
So that's my personal opinion about COD.
Alright, let's throw a curveball here into the FPS genre. What do you think about Overwatch?
Love it. I still have not bought it, must say. But I really am planning on playing it. I might even try and take it competitively. It does look like a lot of fun. I often describe it to people as how I've watched it, so I have not experienced the game yet, but it's kind of like mixing, DotA heroes or the ability side of it with FPS, and I think that's like a really cool little dynamic.
That's what I say also. It's like a MOBA and an FPS, which is like great. Like Overwatch.
It's so cool.
I mean, as it came out, it was like I hit almost instantly. But like Blizzard tried to make it like they esport, which they failed. But like for casual gamers, it's like one of the most popular games in the world at the moment. Yeah. I like it a lot. It's because it's an FPS game where I can pick a guy with a hammer and not a hammer and not have to have aim.
Yeah, exactly.
Easy game.
It actually reminds me a lot about Paragon. I don't know if you guys played Paragon.
I've seen that game and it was like
Paragon
Overwatch.
Was so much fun.
Before Overwatch came out.
It's more Dota than FPS. So basically what it did was it had the lanes, it had your 3 lanes, it still had your, what do you call those thingies that's like in between the lanes where you can go kill and get more, no, not
creeps.
the towers, no, not creeps.
Jungle camps. Ancients.
Okay, so there's like these bigger guys that aren't creeps that stand still when you attack them, they start running at you. Yeah, those ones. Anyway, Anyway, so you have those ones, and then you have like these. You also have the towers and everything. It's the same layout, but you play first-person shooter.
Oh yes, it's like kind of like Smite. Smite was also like
Yeah, but it's a little bit better. Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
In my opinion, don't bash.
Like
me
I
for
think
anything
those
I'm
games are
saying.
actually cool. That like that kind of
But
like
it was a lot of fun. That I enjoyed.
the proper MOBA concept, but in like what do you say, first person?
Yeah, first person.
First person. But like in like if you have a MOBA and you just have some random people balancing the game, it never works. Like Smite, the concept was great, but like the people balancing the game were absolutely trash, and the game was just became shit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Agreed.
But yeah, stuff like Paragon's fun to me. That I sort of started getting the gist of DotA a little bit more because it was still like my FPS thing, and then I started learning. Okay, if I buy this, if I buy that, then I can upgrade my abilities, and I knew what ultis were, and I knew what passives were, and I knew what actives were, and I knew how to use them and when to use them and how to like make what a cool shot was. Like you would think, okay, you're running at someone, you use an ulti, it's done. It's not like that. Like you can run away and try, do different things, go invis, TP, do all those crazy things that you guys do. In CS, you can't do any of that. You shoot, you die. It's so that to me was really fun to play, and I learned a lot about it. So every single time I open Paragon, I try to play a different user or a hero, like they say. And to me, it was very interesting to try use their abilities because I started learning that I really like the more aggressive carry characters where I had to literally just go in and be the first person that gets the kill and just kill everyone until the end of the game, because I did not have any time or any will to want to go and just be like, farm now, push the creeps back. Like I didn't care about any of that. So to me that was not what I liked. I liked going in and killing people. So I always took the most aggressive hero, just ran at it and just tanked everything, and that was just what I did throughout the games, and I enjoyed it so much. I actually loaded up Paragon more often than CS for a while, and when I went back to CS I was just like, this game is very stale. So just my opinion.
See, Fury, we never had that problem.
Yeah.
Because I always put it like this. I used to be a gamer, and I started playing Dota 2.
Oh wow.
That is true.
Like such a... The game, it's so... You don't enjoy playing Dota. It's so toxic, it's so cancerous. But it sucks you in. And once you start, nothing else... Like playing Dota doesn't feel good, right?
Matters.
Playing Dota doesn't feel good. Like 2% of the time it feels good, where you're just shitting on everybody and your team is good and this and that. But 98% of the time it makes you fucking miserable.
It does.
But everything else also feels miserable because you just always after that 2%, you know what I mean? It's like a drug. Dota's like a heroin. Or crystal meth to me.
Okay, I don't
You're
think
playing-
you should put that into
No,
This
that
is
is-
going
that is
in.
true.
That
That
is
is
my
true,
opinion about Dota.
Like, to
Yeah.
an extent, that's true. Like, I mostly enjoy Dota. Not really. It's kind of like okay, like slightly better than normal life, and then like a couple good points, and then a lot
better
of
than normal life.
Okay, so
sorry, I know a lot of toxicity. But
here's a good example of this, right? His like proudest achievement is when he climbed from 4K MMR bracket to the 5K MMR bracket in a space of a month, less than a month, which is an impressive thing to do, right?
super good.
So he always tells us with the pride, it's like you start 7 games a day, win 4 games, lose 3 games, and you climb like that. And he's given us this whole long speech, whatever. And then after he gave the speech many times, and the one day he was like, yeah, and it worked, and I got 5K, and with a smile on his face, it's like the worst month of my life.
Yeah.
It was bad because every day, like I did it for like the last week as well. Like every day you wake up, all you do is play Dota. Like for the last week it was like 13 hours a day. But even in the grind, like you literally just Dota sleep, and you're sleeping for so long because you are like the laziest person in the world. And
Yeah, I feel like we have a lot of like differences between us, and I don't know if I'm happy about that or not, because I genuinely enjoy the games that I play.
I'm happy for
But
you.
especially
But you don't
CS.
play Dota though.
Yeah, well,
Like,
CS
Dota's
still.
different.
Well, okay. What makes Dota toxic? Oh, this is a good question to you guys. What makes Dota toxic?
What makes Dota toxic?
Europeans, dude. I don't know.
Okay, so forget the Europeans part, because let's not get racist on camera, right? But like you see, Dota is a game where you're always trying to get better. There's always more to learn. There's always this. There's always that, right? But then there's also things in Dota like you get a hero called Viper that it doesn't matter if I'm a 6K MMR player, global elite player, and he's a freaking Nova 2. If he goes mid against me and he's playing Viper and I'm like 6K MMR in vocal complex fancy hero, he can shit on me. And it's frustrating. And then you got so much ego involved in Dota that when this 3K MMR is shitting on my invoker, I want to drop my items mid, deny it, walk down mid, feed. And I don't know why, it's just like a culture of just like toxicity. Like I don't know if you know what baby rage is, right? You know what a baby rage is, okay?
Yeah,
So there's a guy named Arteezy. He came into the Dota scene a couple of years ago, and at like 15 years old, he was like the hot shit in Dota, right? He was like the best at the time. And he started streaming, and he's the most toxic guy ever on stream. Everything happens, I'm fucking tilted, I'm done with this game. This game is so over. And he produced a whole new generation of baby rages. It's like, Dota is so toxic. It's a great...
So you're just saying that because Dota is so sometimes unfair, that people have either egos or just massive rage.
I don't know how to, I
It's
don't know,
not
I don't know.
unfair,
In the
but like
community.
literally, like your mood affects your performance big time in Dota.
Yeah, but
Like,
it's
But also,
CS
okay,
as well.
like talking
Well,
about
like,
facts
you
here,
join
right?
a game, right? And look, in ranked, okay, you either go plus 25, you go minus 25. If you go minus 25, the mentality is you wasted 2 hours of your life because you wasted an hour playing the game and you got to waste another hour getting the MMR back. So you understand how frustrating it is to lose a game.
Yeah,
in
and that's the
Dota.
thing in Dota,
And,
right?
and you will lose because you will start a game. I shit you not. Like in the chat, some guy will type, guys, I'm fucking tilted, I'm done. I've
You
lost
done
300
that.
MMR today. And then you know you're gonna lose. And you're like, you play a whole hour knowing you're gonna lose. Then you lose. Then you have to go play another hour to try to get it back.
And then you have to play
okay,
another hour to get
okay,
back.
So,
Yeah.
Leagues is the
Well,
most
then why
similar
do you
game
guys
to
play
Dota,
this
right?
game right now?
Okay,
It doesn't
it's
sound
so
fun
fun.
at
Let me-
all.
let me-
It's so fun. It's so fun.
Okay, here's a good example, right? Okay,
The
this-
worst month of my life. It's so fun. Like, how does that even correlate?
This is a good example of Dota, right? So in leagues, it's probably the most similar game to Dota, okay? So in leagues, a game lasts between like 20 and sometimes like a long game is 40 minutes. In Dota, the average game is about 40 minutes, okay? And in leagues, there's a lot of skill in leagues. So if you're good in leagues, you can just go around and just shit on people and you can win a game. In Dota, you can do that to a certain extent, okay? The team is a really big part in Dota. So in Dota, you play, like, games are minimum 40 minutes. 40 minutes of your life invested in a game. And that's a short game, eh? And then you can be like 20-0, having the best game of your life, and you can just have one idiot on your team just walking to the wrong place once in the game at one time, not have buyback, and the game is over.
Yeah, I can add.
Okay, so I'm gonna stick with CS.
Please
Um,
do. I stopped telling people. Every people ask me about Dota, I'll speak so enthusiastically how I'm a caster, I love it, and this, that. And in the end of the conversation, like, oh, it's a cool. I said, don't ever start the game because it's crystal meth. Once you start, you can't stop.
That's so funny. Well, I mean, in CS there is a lot of toxicity as well. I mean, regulation of ranks is quite the big issue, especially when you play pickups. I think a lot of people who would understand when I say below soft would make a big difference, and it's not to do with actual below soft, but the people who come and join.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, people who have literally never heard of, you know, teamwork ever, and they jam and they're like, oh, what rank are you guys? And if as soon as someone asks what rank you are, then you know they're immediately either the biggest tryhard or the most toxic person, because it's like they come from the MM background, and with MM it's the same thing as Dota. It's like losing a game loses your elo, and that would then ultimately affect if you rank up or not. So if you lose a game, then you lose elo. So for me, example, I'm Aliem, but I've been global since like the day I started. I lost my global elite rank 3 times, twice due to inactivity, just because I stopped playing MM. Because I was like, oh, made global, done now, you know. And I went out and I just went to go play 10 mans. Lost my rank. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be time to just grind. You know, a new active duty group comes out and you're just like, yep, okay, cool, let's jam, whatever. And you start jamming, you're just like, this is why I stopped. Because now I'm Aliem again and I need to grind to get back up there, but everybody that's Aliem has no intentions of getting better because Aliem's good enough for them already, if you know what I mean. So it's also the same thing. I think it's just, I wanted to ask you guys, why don't you just play in a 5-stack of your favorite people and just jam with them, which would probably be a lot more fun because then you guys would win. And if
But
you
it's that's the thing. It's
we'll
fun,
argue
it's
about
not
that
practice.
too, because your friends are nice people in life. Then you play Dota with them, and then we're all toxic. I'm the most. I mean, I'm a cool guy, right? But when I play Dota, I'm so toxic. Whenever, like, if I play Dota downstairs with my family stuff there, my parents walk past, they're like, "You are so toxic. How can you speak to your friends like that?" And I get these lectures, and I'm like, I don't know what to say because I'm just toxic.
Well, I also do rage myself, and I think that people often they see that on stream. I think someone called me the P word on stream,
Yeah.
and I just forgot all you know, all of my composure, and I just went from like smiling little bish running around with my pistol to you fucking cunt, like straight up in stream, and like just like swore at him. I'm like, I told you to wait, and just like rage at this guy because he peeked. I told him I'm connected, I'll help you if they push you, but they're not pushing you. He peeked again, that's why I died, and he started blaming me. So I just yelled at him. And I just swore so badly, and I was on stream, like you can go back, people actually clipped it. And I was just like, yeah, he's an asshole. Mutes him, goes on back on, laughing, running. He's like, coming in, you know. It's just one of those moments where it's just like, I'm having such a good time. Just don't blame me for you dying.
Yeah.
You know, it just immediately puts me in a bad spot because now I'm just like, no, I didn't cause you to die. Don't blame me.
You see, in DotA,
It's always
like
Don't
that.
It's always
swear it.
somebody
It's
else.
always like that.
Yeah. I'll be bad if I play Dota then because I am known to be a rager, and I know this. I know what you guys talk about. I know they talk about me as a rager. I know that, and I own up to it. I love it actually. I enjoy taking out my frustrations on others.
Don't worry, RTZ made all of you guys popular, you baby ragers. Oh god, I think that was a really good interview, guys.
Yeah.
At least you started talking like halfway through.
Well, with the chicks, right?
Oh yeah, with the chicks. Oh, I can't wait to have that part in there. Oh man.
I think my face is just gonna be like perfect when I'm like, yeah.
Thank you so much, Bish, for doing this. Thank you,
you
Fury,
so
for
much,
being
guys.
our third wheel.
Oh, that was so good.
I'm just kidding. Thank you so much. So, any last words? Want to shout out to your sponsors, your mom, your dog, your whatever?
Well, yeah, I'll shout out to my sponsors because
Okay, you
you
sell
are
out.
so nice. No, I'm
I'm
not
just
a
kidding.
sellout. I must be honest, dude. They're really great sponsors, and I've been working with them for the last 3 years. So it was very easy when it came to choosing these guys because it was like, guys, I want to do this. I've been working with you guys for the last 3 years, and I've been, you know, basically doing it for the love of esports. All I wanted to do is be at Rage, and I just wanted to be at the party. I just want to watch the games, and that's pretty much why I did it. And it was so easy for me to go to MSI and just be like, guys, I'm starting something. I'm gonna try my very best. If you guys believe in me, and they just before I even finished my sentence, they were like, yes, what would you like? And that to me showed that over the years they really started seeing the potential that the South African esports scene had, and even their investment, like teams like APG and now Arena, really shows that them as a brand has gone the extra mile to support South African esports, and that I like. So MSI, big shout out because they actually got me here to EGE this weekend.
Sweet.
So I've been giving out some swag and stuff throughout, and just trying to do my thing. And then obviously I have Wool Sports Betting behind me, and they're also doing great in the esports scene. They're like very new to it, but they're like trying to just get other people from the more commercial side. So say obviously they do horse racing and EFC and all those other things to sort of get people to get interested in esports as well. In that way we can grow the scene. And then obviously LG, who's really also come on board. I'm using the monitor right now, so that's sort of the agreement we have. I'm gonna see how good it is, and then I get to criticize it. But there's not really much to criticize, so
That's very cool.
very happy to be with them.
Alright, so final words here. Habibi in Energy Esports, you should watch your place because Jules is coming for you. Fury, you need to get a girlfriend. So if you guys have any suggestions. No, I'm just kidding. He's a great guy. I vouch for him.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird, and Hunter is his brother.
Still,
But yeah.
any chick watches this, any girl that watches this interview is like,
Yeah, you're screwing this up for yourself as well.
He asked for it.
still like, no.
Thank you, everybody, and goodbye.